I remember him as if it were yesterday. He came slowly to the door of the Admiral Benbow Inn, and his sea chest following behind him on a hand cart.
On the dead man's chest. Yo-ho! And a bottle of rum. Drink and the devil had done for the rest. Yo-ho! And a bottle of rum.
Treasure Island Episode 1 Zanjira Yakam Bashi Yakam. The old sailor comes to the Admiral Benbow. دریاوان پیرک دید بو بر درگاه میخانه ادمیرال بنبو.
Let's have the rum.
When my father opened the door, he called roughly for a glass of rum. He was a strong, heavy man with long hair and an old blue coat. His hands were rough and black with dirt, and he had a long scar from a sword across one cheek.
Here, mate.
And he cried to the man with the handcart to help him to get his sea chest inside.
Rum. This is a pleasant bay.
Sat and looked slowly around him at the cliffs and our inn.
You can't call me captain. Well then,
He said,
rum and simple food is what I want. And that cliff up there where I can watch the ships. I see what you want.
he said with a fierce look. And he threw down 3 or 4 gold coins. And one day he promised me to give me a silver 4-penny coin if...
I want you to do something for me, Jim. I promise you, I will give you a silver 4-penny coin every month if you keep an eye open for a seaman with 1 leg.
Okay, I will do that. All evening he sat in the inn by the fire drinking rum. Mostly he didn't speak when spoken to, but looked up suddenly and angrily. We learned to stay away from him. All the day he was around the bay or up on the cliffs with his telescope. And he was nervous of the other sailors who came to the inn. The captain often drank too much rum and sang his old wild sea songs. Then he used to hit his hand down hard on the table for silence before telling his frightening stories of the sea. All his songs were about hangings, storms at sea, and terrible crimes.
Silence!
15 men on a dead man's chest. Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. Drink and the devil had done for the rest. Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum.
One day, my father became very ill, and Dr. Livesey came to see him. And the smart, bright doctor sat in the same room as our dirty, heavy sailor who suddenly started his usual song.
Drink and the devil had done for the rest. Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum.
Dr. Livesey was giving orders for care of my father when the captain banged his hand on the table for silence. Everybody stopped talking apart from Dr. Livesey continued. Then the captain cried,
Silence! Hey, you!
Are you talking to me, sir? The doctor asked.
Aye!
The captain said,
Keep quiet!
I have only one thing to say, sir.
The doctor replied,
If you go on drinking so much rum, then the world will soon be free of a very dirty old scoundrel.
The captain jumped to his feet and took a knife out of his pocket. The doctor didn't move but spoke slowly.
I am a man of the law, a magistrate, as well as a doctor. If you do not put that knife away, you will go to the next court and will be hanged.
Then a few uncomfortable moments passed until the captain finally put the knife in his pocket and sat down heavily. Then the doctor left. Episode 1 Bashidwam Black Dog Sagirash Naznawi Yakaklachata Kanbo. It was early one January morning, while the captain was out at the beach with his telescope, that the inn door opened and a man stepped in who I had never seen before. He wore a sword in his belt, his skin was an unpleasant color, and 2 fingers were missing from his left hand. He sat down at a table, then called me closer.
You setting that table for my mate Bill?
He asked, and a strange look on his face.
It's for the captain.
I said.
Well,
He said.
My mate would be called the captain, probably. He has a cut on one cheek and he is very pleasant when he's drunk.
I nodded.
now, my lad, tell me, is my mate Bill here?
He's out walking.
I said.
He'll return soon.
Said he.
Good.
Here comes my Bill. Me and you will just get behind the door and we will give Bill a little
At
surprise.
last, the captain came in and walked towards his breakfast table. Then Black Dog made me hide behind the door, and I became very worried when I saw him take out his sword.
Eggs and bacon. I want my breakfast.
At last, the captain came in and walked towards his breakfast table.
Eggs and bacon. Well,
Said the stranger. The captain turned to face us. His face turned white.
Come on, Bill. You know me. We're all shipmate. Surely.
Then the captain's eyes opened wide and said,
Black Dog.
That's right. Black Dog. Come to see his old shipmate, Billy. We haven't seen sometimes together since I lost these 2 fingers.
He held up his hand. Then I brought them some rum and I left the room.
What happened after Flint drifted us low boys on the sea?
No one could find it without his map.
Hey, my treasure. Where it is, Billy. I'll haunt him who takes it. Where's the map? The map. Where is it?
Lost, I don't know.
Where's Flint's map?
Died with him, I don't know. Ask me that once more.
I'll stick a blade in you.
So what's the plan, Billy? You in
At
Bristol to get
first,
ship to
I
get
could
back there?
only hear low voices, but
You-
then they became louder.
So what's the plan, Billy? You in Bristol to get a ship to get back there? You? A man who needs an order from his captain to tell him when to buckle his boot in the morning.
Well, end your day.
Then, all of a sudden, there was loud swearing, and I heard something crash to the floor. There was the sound of metal against the metal. Then a cry of pain. I saw Black Duck running away with the captain close behind. Both were carrying swords, and Black Duck had blood streaming from his shoulder. But Black Duck was faster than the captain,
Rum!
and he was soon outside and over the
Rum!
hill.
Rum!
I ran to get a rum, then I heard a crash. Then I ran in and found him lying on the floor. The captain was breathing very loud and hard. His eyes were closed and his face was a horrible color. My mother had now come downstairs, but we didn't know what to do. At that moment, Dr. Livesey came in on his way to see my father.
He has made himself very ill with too much rum. I will do my best to save his life.
The doctor pulled off the captain's shirt to start his work, and I saw several tattoos on the captain's arm. They read, "Here is luck, شانس ليرة يعني كوباخت، a fair wind، باقي خوش، وادي اگر بدلی چه کان باقی خوش هات بوه بو کشت کانیان دهان ود باقی عادی دانا، and belly bones ولقبكي. It was some times later before the captain opened his eyes. First, he looked around the room and then said,
Where's Black Dog?
He asked when he tried to get up,
There's no black dog here.
said the doctor.
You have been drinking rum and you have had a stroke. Now, what I have to say to you is this. One glass of rum won't kill you, but if you take one, you will take another. And if you don't stop, you will die. Come on now, I will help you to your bed.
We managed to get him upstairs and onto his bed,
He should lie in bed for a week.
said the doctor as soon as we had closed the door.
That is the best thing for you and him. Another stroke would finish him off.
Episode 1 Bashisiam, the Black Spot. Khala Rashaka. کە یەکێک لە نیشانەکانی ئاگادارکردنەوە کوشتن بوو. At about midday, I went to see the captain, but he seemed both weak and excited.
Jim, every month I have given you a silver for penny. You will bring me a little drink of rum now, won't you?
The doctor.
I began. He started to swear and then said, What does the doctor know about life at sea? I have lived on rum, I tell you.
The doctor himself said that one glass wouldn't hurt me. I will give you a golden guinea for some, Jim.
Because he was speaking loudly and my father was ill, so I agreed. I want what you owe my father. That is all. I will get you one glass and no more. I said that because he had been very slow to pay us. When I brought it, he took it quickly and drank it down.
That is better. How long do I have to lie here?
A week, at least.
I replied.
No!
The captain cried.
I can't do that. They'll find out where I am and give me the black spot. I must get away.
I tried to help him, but he was too weak to get up, and he lay back for a while in silence.
Jim, it is my old sea chest they want.
Captain!
If I can't get away, you go to the doctor. Tell him to bring the magistrates here to the Admiral Bimbo to get all of Flint's crew, all of them that is left. I was Flint's first mate, and I am the only one that knows the place. He gave it to me when he was dying. But don't tell the doctor unless they get the black spot on me, or unless you see that black dog again, or the sailor with one leg.
But what's the black spot? I asked.
That is a sort of warning, mate. If I get the black spot, it means they are coming to get me and what I have got. Keep your eyes open, Jim, and I will give you half of everything, I promise you.
Captain! What I would have done if everything had gone well, I don't know. My poor father died quite suddenly that evening. All of the neighbors came to visit and there was a lot of to arrange, so I was too busy and absent to think of the captain. The following day, the captain came downstairs, ate a little and got himself some rum. On the night before we buried my father, he was as drunk as ever. He sat at the table with his sword ready in front of him, singing his ugly old sea songs, but he was still very weak and seemed to be getting worse and not better. Several days later, on a cold foggy afternoon, I was standing at the door full of sad thoughts about my father. As I stood there, I saw someone coming slowly along the road. The man was blind, who was walking along, tapping a stick in front of him. He wore a cloth over his eyes and nose and was bent over. I had never in my life seen such a terrible looking man. He stopped a little away from the inn and he said in a loud voice, "Well, a good man, tell a poor blind man where he is." "You are at the Admiral Bimbo," I replied.
Give me your hand, young friend, and let me in.
I held out my hand and the horrible man held it hard. He pulled me up close to him and said,
"Now, boy, take me into the captain."
"Sir, I can't. The captain is not what he used to be. He sits with his sword ready."
Take me in or I will break your arm.
He said and pulled my arm roughly, and it was the hardest and the coldest voice I ever heard. I was so frightened that I led him into the room where the captain was sitting. The poor captain lifted his head and it was easy to see that he was very frightened.
"Now, Bill, sit where you are. Pew. Hold out your left hand, boy. Take his left hand and bring it near my right hand."
Then we both did what we were told. He put something into the captain's hand, which quickly closed on it. Then the blind man suddenly went out of the door. I stood without moving and heard his stick go tap-tapping down the street.
10 o'clock.
The captain cried.
I've got 6 hours.
He sat and tried to stand up. He suddenly put his hand to his neck and then with a strange sound fell onto the floor. I shouted to my mother, but it was too late and the captain was dead. Help us! Mother!